we're not interested in lighting and cameras for what we need to do. So we need a cow. So we go to File, Import. I know it's an STL. We'll find it. And you can see the right-hand corner, its cow is there. But Render don't put it in the middle. It's there somewhere. There we go. It's right over there. So what you need to do is select the cow. Should do, set origin. There we go. And it will come to the center and the cursor will be in the center. So, and also it might come in the wrong size as well. So what we need to do is click on the cow, press N, and it brings up the sidebar. And we'll press an item. And if you look the Z, 25 meters tall. So on scale, highlight, click on, highlight all three of them and put 0.1. And it'll scale it down 2.5 high. That's a little bit more respectable. Press home, and home always brings you into all your objects. And because we're only working on one object, that's fine. So there we go. We've got our cow. What we need to do is rig it. So actually, first thing we'll do, we'll click on and we'll go to edit mode, top left, edit mode. Now this is fine. If you click on here, this is all the subdivisions and it's quite a detailed model. So we won't have any problems rigging it. If you go in and the triangles are all big, you can right click, top there, subdivide. But we don't need to do it on this one. The more you subdivide, the slower it will generate and render. So it's a compromise, but this one is absolutely fine. Back into object mode. So we want to add a rig to it. So we go to add, top left, and it will come down. It's got armature. And we'll go for basic and a basic quadruped. And there we go. Now it is there. It's right in the middle of the cow there. So first thing we'll do is come down to the running man on the right. So the menu down the side there, the running man. And in the viewpoint display, it's got the octagonal or octahedral is the bones. We'll keep that. But all down the bottom, it's got in front. Always prop in front. And then wherever you move it, your rig will be in front of your mesh. The cow's the mesh, the rig's the bones. We're in there, we'll click on the rig, and then we'll do an S, which will scale it. So, but also we want to move it. So a good thing, on the left, come down, you've got a transform button. Now, what it does, it gives you the rotate. So we can rotate the rig whatever way you want. We can scale it by using the button in the middle. So we scale it long ways, so all three axes. And also we can move it all off the one tool. So it is quite handy if you're swapping between scaling, rotating or whatever. Now, one thing I've noticed that the cursor is not in the middle of our rig. So what we need to do is click on the rig, we'll right click and we'll put set origin to center of mass. And what it does, it puts it in the middle and it actually moves it a little bit better. So what we need to do now is adjust this rig roughly to fit the cow. So if we scale it, and one of the shortcuts, a good one is, if you go in the X mode, on here you've got like a X. If you do it again, it'll go negative X. So you know your face on Z, and then we go negative Z. That should go underneath, shouldn't it? Oh, Z, and click again, that'll be negative Z and Y, and you do it again, it'll be negative Y. So you know then your face on, because a lot of the stuff when you're push-pulling, you could be wandering off. So if you press S now, which is scaling, and we'll bring it out a bit, and then move it down. You won't get it exact, you'll get it roughly, and we'll scale it to the right a bit, and move it to the right. That sort of thing. We can scale it down a little bit. Right, well, this is a basic rig for a four-legged animal, so it's never going to be perfect to start with, but we can change the rig quite easily. So with the rig selected, we'll go up to the top and we'll go into edit mode. This is where you actually move stuff around. Now, to move the bones, we'll click on this. We'll start with the top, with a little knob at the top there. If you click on and press G and grab it, we can join it and we'll call that to his nose. We'll do the same again. We'll do a G on the other end and then we'll move it up, and that's give us a head bone. Always look though in front, because it's straight away we've moved it off. So we do a G and move it across. So now it's in the top of his head. One thing you can do is come up to the top right, we'll click on viewpoint shading, and then if you come down, it says material. If you give it a single, you'll get a color wheel up. Change it so you get a contrast between the bones and the mesh. Blue's pretty good. It stands out a lot better. And that way, when you're looking down on it, because straight away that when we move them bones, they didn't go the right way. So we do a G, just move it over. Now, one thing, you can do, up to the options, press X, axis mirror. That way, if we move one, say I want to move the foot bone, the hoof, press the hoof, press G, and it's mirroring on the X axis. So you've only got to move it once. You haven't got to go back and move it twice. It works in all positions. So if we do a G on that one and move it across, we'll do a G on there. This is where the time is consuming. We do a G, and as you can see, what you need to do is go around and move your bones. Now, things like you can move the whole tail. So if you click on, press a Control L, it will move the whole, or highlight the whole length. This is the tail section. So if we know that's the end of the chain, so if we do a Control L and we do a rotate, which is R, we can move the whole lot in one go. Do a Control L, G, and then bring it down and put it on the tail. Yeah, it's gone skew width, so we do an R and rotate it, and a G and move it. I can't even see where the tail has gone now. I bet miles out, but if I put it there. Oh no, not too far. But you get the idea. What you've got need to do now is go round and move all the bones. Now what I did do earlier, because I don't know how cow bones work, so I went on trusty Google, found a cow and bring it in, and I found out where the bones go. So things like the hoof, yeah, we do click on the end, do a G, bring it in, G, move it up, yeah, and that's this bit of bone here. And you can do a G. It's all a bit moving it around, but you get the idea of where you're going to put the bones. Now, this isn't set up properly, but what I've done is I've set one up already. It's one I made earlier. I think this is the one I done earlier. Yeah, this is cow. So I've changed it a bit and I've added it to the towel. So what we need to do now is we click in the object, go to object mode, and we've got a cow, which is our mesh, and we've got a rig. And what we need to do is join them together. So we press on the mesh, we do a shift, and we press on the rig, and then we do a control P, and it says set parent to, and this is where you parent the rig to the mesh. And if you come on down, it's with automatic weights. Now what that means is, if you click on it, and if you click on the towel, and on the end of the towel, it will move like it should do. If it hasn't got automatic weights, what you have to do is paint the weights in so the top moves with the bottom. It's just an easy way of doing it. So if you move the front leg, it should move how it should. So, right, we'll click on the rig and we'll go up to the top and we'll go back into we'll go into pose mode now. So we know that the rig is joined to the cow. So if we want to move its head, we'll click on this bone here. We'll do a rotate. Oh, cannot pose. Right, it's come up with a problem. On the right hand side there, it's got rest position and pose position. If I come in here and mess all this around in the pose position, I can always reset it back to the rest position. So we'll come in and I'll show you that. So if we click on there and we press R, and the cow's nodding now. If we click on there and rotate, see, with the automatic weights, the mesh is moving with the cow. And the same with the head, we're doing a rotate. But you get the idea. Let's have a look at the towel. Click on the towel and a rotate, which is R, and there we go. So the knack is getting the bones of the rig in the right place. That's where the skill comes. Look, and sometimes it don't go where you want.